Hi guys.
Hi.
Welcome to preschool today. How are we doing?
Great.
Good. It's a beautiful day outside, and that means it's a beautiful week to talk about all the outside bugs, right?
I don't like bugs.
You don't like bugs? Well, today we are going to talk about, what bug is this?
Grasshopper.
A grasshopper. And I learned some really cool things about grasshoppers. Do you guys know anything about grasshoppers?
They hop in the grass.
They do hop in the grass, like their name, right?
They chirp a lot.
They do chirp, huh? Well, I've got some pictures in front of you that are gonna help us learn about grasshoppers. Hugh, will you pick up a picture?
Sure.
Okay, oh my goodness. Look at this. Hugh, can you tell me what is going on in this picture?
A guy is eating a grasshopper.
Grasshopper. Did you know that grasshoppers are a good source of protein? And protein is the things that make our muscles and our bones really strong. And we get protein from our meat. And there are people, remember how we read that book, Bugs for Lunch?
Yeah.
Where people eat bugs? Well, a bug that is really high in protein is a grasshopper. So people eat grasshoppers in Africa and in Central and South America because they're good sources of protein. Good to know. Should we have grasshoppers for dinner tonight?
No. Yeah.
All right, Mary, will you pick another picture? Okay.
Dinosaurs.
What is this? What's on this picture?
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Oh, they're so cute.
Look at those dinosaurs. Did you know, Boosty, that grasshoppers are older than dinosaurs? So they have found fossils of grasshoppers that predate. That means they can tell they were there before the dinosaurs lived on Earth. So they are prehistoric creatures.
They're like 70, 100 billion years old then.
Something like that, right? So they're really old. That's pretty cool. I didn't know that. So they have been around for a long time.
That's a giant egg. Well, that's good that something very old is not extinct yet.
Yeah, not grasshoppers. Hugh, will you pick another picture? Oh, look at this. This is, do you know what instrument that is?
A ukulele.
It does look like a ukulele. Mary, do you know what that is? A violin. And did you know that crickets do this too? That grasshoppers rub their back legs together and they can make music. Kind of like when you play a violin, you have a bow that you run across the strings and it makes the music. Well, that's what happens when the grasshoppers rub their legs together. So they're an old musical bug full of protein. All right, Mary, will you pick a picture?
You'd be a good singer type. This one with the grasshopper hiding in leaves.
Grasshoppers hiding in leaves. Grasshoppers are really good at using their camouflage. So they don't change color like a chameleon. Remember we learned about those, changing colors? A grasshopper doesn't change color, but if it lives in a grassy area, that species of grasshopper will be green. And then there are grasshoppers that live in deserts. And what color do you think they are?
They're brown.
They're brown.
I'm
Yeah, and
just gonna
tan.
Say that,
Good.
one time when we were in Moab, I saw that a grasshopper that was blending in with the sand.
So what color was it?
Tan.
Tan. It was in the tan sand in Moab and it was tan. So grasshoppers have special camouflage. Depending on where they live, they are the color of what's around them. All right. Is it Hugh's turn?
Yes.
This is a silly one. I did my best here, but this is a funny fact. So here's a picture of a girl and what's this? An ear. And then arrows pointing to her belly because do you know where the grasshopper's ears are? On its belly.
That's weird.
Could you imagine? And grasshoppers, they have different ears than us, right? They're not the same. They don't hear the same. They really pick up vibrations from the world around them. So just like they're vibrating to make their legs.
They hear from a mile away.
I don't know how far they can hear.
That
would be interesting. But they do, their ears are on their bellies and they can feel the sound. It's pretty cool, right? It's a pretty cool thing. Okay, Mares. This is a big wheat field. Do you know that we as humans have to be very careful and watch out for grasshoppers, because if there is a horde of grasshoppers, they could eat up an entire farmer's field. If you have a horde of them, they can eat and eat and eat, and they will decimate those crops. So we have to be careful of grasshoppers, but that is like kind of amazing that this little tiny creature can cause so much damage, isn't it? Yeah. They can eat all of the crops in a field and totally destroy the field. So farmers have to be careful.
That explains a lot about grasshoppers.
Does it? Yeah, we've heard that before, kind of like there can be a plague, or in Utah a long time ago, we did have grasshoppers.
You know, it'd be funny, there was a plague called the invasion of the grasshoppers.
Well, that did happen here, and lots of farmers lost their crops because the grasshoppers came and ate them all. So we do have to be careful. Okay, Hugh, there's one more picture. Is it Mary's turn though, or is it yours? It's Hugh's. Okay. Okay,
and it's a football field.
A football field. Do you know why I would have a picture of a football field? What do you think, Maris?
He's kicking a field goal, so maybe it's because the grasshoppers can jump super far.
Yeah, it is because, okay, so pretend you are a grasshopper.
Anyway.
A grasshopper this little bug can jump 1 meter high, which is the same as if we could jump an entire football field. That's how far they jump. Those amazing legs, they use them like a catapult where they spring up, and it would just be like if we could spring the entire length of a football field.
That either.
That is amazing, right? That if we were a grasshopper,
can grasshoppers touch the clouds?
They can touch the clouds. They're a little bit higher than 1 meter, don't you think?
Yeah.
But that's a pretty cool thing about grasshoppers, right?
So a meter up or a meter forward?
A meter up and a meter forward. They have amazing jumping abilities, right?
Yeah.
What if
I'm
they
wondering,
could go
though,
to space?
Hugh, I have a question for you. Do you think a grasshopper is an insect?
Yeah, definitely.
How
No,
is something
not.
an insect? Do you remember how many legs
It
they have
has
to have?
6 legs.
Six
And
legs.
it is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, what else do they have to have?
Wings.
Can you sit down. Wings. Does a grasshopper have wings?
Yeah,
Yep, they're hidden,
definitely.
right? Can you sit down? All right, and then what else do they have?
Antennas.
Antenna. Oh, a grasshopper has antenna. What else?
Tummies, they have tummies.
They have abdomens, right? They have 3 segments to their body. Does a grasshopper do that? Have that?
Yeah.
Does it look like it? Yeah, a grasshopper is
A
an
shark
insect.
can't be an insect
Shark
because
is
it
not
has
an insect.
no legs.
All right, that is the amazing insect of the grasshopper. All right, now I have a puppet grasshopper, and
What's his name?
what should we name him?
Gary.
Gary. Here's Gary.
No, it's
And I
lightning
need-
Gary.
Gary Lightning.
Gary is hungry.
No, it's lightning Gary.
Lightning Gary.
Lightning Gary needs your help. All right, on this whiteboard, I have a bunch of letters, and the letters, they have bugs on them.
Those are
Like,
cute.
what is this?
Worm.
A worm. We learned about that earlier this week. Worm starts with
Double.
W, and W says, woof, woof, woof. What bug is this?
Ladybug.
A
We learned
ladybug.
about those. We did the art.
Hugh, we already learned about them. What does ladybug start with?
Lol. L.
L. Oh. What's this, Mary?
Butterfly.
Butterfly. What does butterfly start with?
B.
B. B. How about this one?
Ant.
Ant. What does ant start with? Ah. Good. Ah. Ant. How about this one? Our today's bug.
Grasshopper.
What does grasshopper start with?
Good.
Good.
Whoa, that was close, Mares. G. What letter is that?
Grass.
What letter is that?
G.
for grasshopper. And then last week we talked about this bug.
Dragonfly.
Oh, that's
Butterfly.
a D, Hugh, and
The dragonfly.
D for dragonfly. Dragonfly. All right, now Gary needs your help.
Lightning Gary.
Over on our door over there, we have leaves, and some of the leaves have letters on them. And I need you to take Gary, and he's gonna listen with his tummy. Are you listening, Mary? He's gonna listen with his tummy, and I'm gonna say a sound, and Gary needs to get the leaf with the letter that matches that sound, okay? Are you ready? Hugh, you can go first. I'm gonna say a sound. Make Gary go get that leaf. He's hungry, but he needs to match. Okay, are you listening?
Yes.
Okay, Gary, you listening? Okay. Ah. Ah. Okay, go find the letter that says ah. Oh, nice job. Okay, come match it in our puzzle. Ah. Ah. A. A like ant. Good job. Okay, here's another sound. You ready? Pass Gary to Mary.
Gary to Mary.
All
Gary,
right.
Mary, run. Gary.
Ready? Ooh. Ooh.
Yum, yum, yum.
What letter says ooh, Mary?
L.
L like ladybug. Nice job. All right, give
Pass
Gary
Gary
to
to
you.
me. Wait, give me
Give
Gary.
Gary to you.
Gary.
Okay, Hugh, you ready? Are you listening? Whoa. Whoa.
Gary.
Good job. What letter is Gary munching?
Lightning Gary.
Hugh, what letter is that?
W.
W. Okay, bring it on over. You can bring the whole leaf if you want. Good job, Gary. He knew. Okay, you can bring the whole leaf or just the letter W. Just bring it over here. It's okay.
Lightning Gary.
Lightning Gary.
All right. Oh, can you hand it to me?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Okay, ready, Mary? Wah, like worm. Nice matching. Wah, W, worm. Okay, Mary, are you listening?
Gary.
Hugh. It's Mary's turn now. Okay, you ready, Mary? Go, go, go.
Grasshopper. Yum. He took the leaf.
Okay. What letter says G, Mary?
Grasshopper.
Grasshopper. All right, guess what? I need some help with a counting jar. So, but I'm gonna pick, listen, I'm gonna pick someone who's sitting quietly to help me with the counting jar, okay? All right, so Gary got letter G that says G, 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 right? Okay, oh, we only have a couple more. All right, Hugh, the next sound is B, B.
Gary.
What letter did Gary get, Matt? Hugh?
B.
B. B says B, B like butterfly. Thank you.
Lightning Gary.
Okay, look, that matches. We have one more. You listening, Mary?
Yep.
Duh.
He's
Duh.
attacking me.
Dragonfly. Duh, duh, like dragonfly.
I jumped in my family.
Duh, duh. There was one more left, right? And it was a letter. What letter, Mary?
D.
D. Good job.
Here is
Letter
Lightning
D.
Gary.
Hugh, can you do me a favor and sit up the right way, please? I bet our friends that are watching at home, I bet they're sitting crisscross applesauce. So if you could sit the right way, that would be very helpful. All right, and then guess what? I still had some more bugs. Remember how we did the counting jar last week?
Yeah.
And I had bugs in there. Guess what? I still had some bugs left over. And so I need some help to count how many bugs I had left over. In our bug jar today, we have spiders and
Spiders.
this is a fly.
Spiders and
And
spiders and
We
spiders.
have our bug of the day,
Grasshopper.
grasshopper.
Look,
We
look.
learned all those cool things about
And the
this.
picture that is blending in, it has a leaf too on it.
Oh, right? Okay,
Well, you could
so-
put them in a pattern. Green, blue, purple, and
we
red.
could, right? We could do a pattern. Mary, will you count? Come up here and count all of these bugs. Let's see. Let's pour, I'm gonna pour them out and then we'll count with you as you
Okay.
put them in the jar.
1,
One, can you count with us?
2. Whoops, that's a grasshopper. 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, there's a whiteboard next to you. Will you grab a marker and write the number 17 on it? Do you know how to do that? Let's see if she does, Hugh. Let's see. She's gonna reveal. Da 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 da.
That's a good 17.
That's really good, huh? Let's put a big star on that. Hugh, will you clap for Mary? Way to go! I love your 17. She did it right. She got it. The 1 comes before the 7. 1, 7. 17. It's a teenager. That means it starts with 1.
If the one,
Good job.
if the 1 wasn't in front, then it'd be 71.
If you switch those, yeah. If the 7 was in front, it'd be 71. Did you count 71 bugs?
No.
No, you only counted 17, so that 1 goes in front, right? Okay, I was thinking about grasshoppers and butterflies and worms and beetles and dragonflies, and a lot of these insects, the bees, they live in a whole world all around us, right? Even in the grass, we were digging in the dirt and there were tons of worms this weekend, right? We
There's
saw
one, they
them all.
were like that long, like that.
I love that.
And Mary
So-
found some chunky ones.
There's a whole world going on, right? They're all different sizes. There's a whole world going on around us, right? And I have a story that I really like, Hugh, that's called In the Tall, Tall Grass. And it's about this kind of under our noses, this whole world that's happening,
Underground.
and we have to stop and look around and watch.
That's my first grade teacher's name
Hey.
on it.
All right, go ahead and sit down, please. In the tall, tall grass. Let's see what's going on in the tall, tall grass.
That's a scary bees.
Okay, now I need your voices quiet so our friends at home can hear the story. In the tall, tall grass. Look at that boy. He's like exploring that world. Crunch, munch, caterpillars lunch. They love that grass, don't they? Dart, dip, hummingbirds sip. They're so fast, those hummingbirds. Strum, drum, bees hum.
Look, the cat
What are those bees busy doing?
making pollinating the flowers.
Pollinating the flowers. Do we need bees to do that?
Yeah, otherwise the world
Don't
would be
take
dark
bees
and gray.
home.
They have
Never
a very
take bees
important
home.
job.
Never take
Okay.
bees home.
Crack, snap, wings flap. That bird is going in for
The
a
caterpillars
berry.
there on every page.
Pull, tug, ants lug. Ants are very strong.
They can carry probably a piece of cheese.
Slip, slide, snakes glide through the grass.
Ah. Wait, there's a piece of grass growing through the snake.
Mm-hmm. Rich, ratch, moles scratch. Live underground, huh? So cool. Skitter, scurry, beetles hurry. Zip, zap, tongues snap. Hip hop, fierce flop. Stop, go, fireflies glow. Lunge, loop, bats swoop.
Mom's probably scared right now because that's your favorite.
I am scared of bats.
That's
Stars.
your favorite bug.
Bright moonlight. That's why the bats were coming out. Good night, tall, tall grass and caterpillars. Off to make a chrysalis.
That reminds me when we went to that one Santa place when there was a bunch of bats.
I do not like bats, you're right. All right, so I learned today that grasshoppers are really cool, and I am so glad you guys learned with me. Thank you so much, and thanks for joining us at home. See you later.